is Brigitte Nagel. I am the owner of Miniature Works. I wanted to have a physical space, a store, something that could showcase not just the vintage pieces that I own, but also the commission work that I do, the ability to capture a moment, a time in someone's life through three-dimensional form. In my history background, it's about the story. I am the storyteller. I'm just telling the story in a different way now. And so the cubicles that you see are storylines. When I was little, my father was a bull rider in rodeos, and I didn't really have a traditional upbringing, but what I would do is go to the rodeos and go under the grandstands and find rocks and sticks and build little miniatures. And then when I got to be a little bit older, like in 6th grade, I went to school and I would build trolled houses out of shoeboxes and cut out curtains and rugs and things, and it was fostered throughout. And I didn't do anything, and a few years ago, I just started to tinker again with making small things, and without knowing, I had instantaneously advanced. Whatever I could see, I could make.
I'm Kelly, and that's Michelle.
They were a couple from Vermont, and she asked me to make a podcast studio for her wife, who was thinking about quitting.
I lost sight of why I even bothered to do this podcast in the first place. Corny as it sounds, I think it kind of it re-energized me. Wow, somebody took the time to recreate this. And I don't know, it really inspired me to just keep the podcast going. The fact that someone can actually summon the patience and the creativity.
Even down to the little coffee mugs that we got. I mean, the name of the podcast is called Bitter Coffee.
There's so much love in this creation. I can totally feel it. It's amazing.
The connection to the person who asked me to do the commission was profound. It was tapping into something emotional for them. It was tapping into some memories, and that story, telling their story, is really what started to form. The first thing is when someone gives me an idea of something that they'd like to commission me to make. First thing I'll do is just have a conversation with them. We start talking about what is most important to you, what's most meaningful, what's most heartfelt, and we kind of whittle it down. What I do is draw it out. Then they send me pictures of certain things that are important to them, their dog or the sofa that they had in 1971 or whatever it is. And then I will start to recreate those, going back to the client, discussing what looks right and doesn't look right, what we can take out, what we can add. For my miniatures, I use everything from plaster to resin to wood, a lot of wood, metals, typically paint. I even use tiny little nails that are able to hold the wood together so that I'm not just making glued pieces, but they're actually authentic. People that come into the store, it has morphed a little. It has changed a little bit because people would come in and they would lock their hands behind their back as if they were in a museum or a gallery, and it was not the feel that I wanted it to be. A woman came in recently and touched a $200 lamp, and it fell on the floor and it broke, and she almost had a heart attack. And I was like, oh my goodness, not even close. I would so much rather, genuinely, so much rather she have touched it and broke it than not to have touched it at all. These items, you need to touch them. You need to touch them and feel their tininess. Miniature Works, it is my absolute happy place. I could spend 18 hours straight. Sometimes my husband will come in and say, do you want dinner? Do you, because I get absorbed in here.